Governor Makinde, the host of this Ibadan Summit, reminded the APC, the ruling party and the government, of the sad incidents in 1965, that led to killings, because of political instability, pretty much what is replaying now before our eyes, where a party at the central, will be trying to dictate affairs in states, manipulate elections in states, shut out opposition, parties and all of that. And it more or less reminded everybody that this was our operation, that situation was called Operation Wetie. What's your take on this?
Well, thank you very much. It's quite unfortunate that the ruling government is playing politics with reality. I'm a Muslim, and there's something Quran is very huge on. And Quran regarded or referred to human being as forgetful, that we are forgetful. Human beings can forget. Therefore, human beings are forgetful. There's a place in Quran where the Quran describes human beings as forgetful. We forget things easily. And there's something called institutional memories. Some people, yes, they have it, but they feign it because they want to achieve, and they are aiming at an end. Why I'm saying this is because Wetie was in 1965, and there were things that went wrong politically that brought about Wetie. And Governor Makinde has not spoken out of order. As far as I am concerned, he has not breached any national security as they are trying to make it look. And I think they are doing that because he jolted them. They didn't expect that. They didn't see that coming. What Governor Makinde has simply done, he's not my friend though, but what he has done, I have to give it to him that what he has done was just to tell them the consequences of this action of the ruling government. We don't have we've never had history of one-party states in Nigeria, and we will not have it now. And APC government is huge on that. On daily basis, their character, their action, their attitude, their spoken words, both unspoken words, speaks to the fact that they want to railroad Nigerians into that. And Governor Makinde was telling them that, no, this is going to backfire. He didn't say, go and bring gun and start war tomorrow. He was not even calling for revolution, whether bad or good. He only said, be aware of what may likely be the consequences of this action. It was a warning that he was given. So now let's take it beyond that. In history, what the APC government is doing now was what killed First, Second, and Third Republic. You recall that the MPC was controlling the entire Northern Hemisphere, political space. The moment they moved into the South, that they wanted to harness the entire South to what they had, what happened? The Republic went down. The same thing when MPN was controlling almost about 12 or 13 states or thereabout. The moment they moved, they wanted to take over South. That was what killed that republic. Even just recently, PDP was controlling about 19 states, but they got to 20 states. When they now said they wanted to go into, that was what killed that time, that party. And exactly what APC is doing. It goes beyond an implosion. It's about the mind of the people, the thinking, the perspective the people are now giving, that what you are not even doing well. Even if you are doing well, we would have accepted. I would have said, okay, let's manage it. The APC is not doing well. They are so reckless with them. They do everything with reckless abandon. They don't take Nigeria seriously anymore. They believe it's just about them few people managing the affairs of the country. And in that case, they don't even have the experience.
So you don't see anything essentially wrong in what Governor Makinde did?
Makinde has done no wrong. It was only, he said it in the interest of this country. We cannot afford a country in crisis. We are already battling with the economy. We are battling with insecurity. We are battling with unemployment due to the failure and lack of experience of Tinubu's government. And you want to turn us into crisis again because of our own ambition. And that's what takes me to what people are saying, because people have always been asking, what is ADC going to do differently? This is one of them. We are not going to tamper with the Constitution or Constitution of Nigeria or Electoral Act to suit individual interests. That's what they are doing. And by the grace of God, we are going to bridge the widening gap between the poor and the rich, because we are going to protect the rich and empower the poor. We are going to bring back the image the battered image of this country, bring it back, and hand this country over back to the people that owns it, which is Nigerian people. And we're not going to do this kind of subsidy that is putting our people in hardship, in hunger. We're going to have a targeted subsidy that is going to take care of the hungers, the welfare of the people. These are some of the things we are going to do differently, not what they have done. We are not going to hoodwink the judiciary or the INEC or the National Assembly we'll make them work for the people, because this is what is lacking in the government of Tinubu.
Deiji, many listening to you will say, all you politicians are the same.
We are not the same.
Just hold on.
We are not the same.
Just hold on. The talk is cheap. You all say the same thing.
This one is not cheap.
When you get there, it's a different ballgame.
What promises did APC made that they are fulfilled?
Let's focus on the issue on ground, which is the statement Makinde made. Some have actually said, because I've read and I've watched a lot since Saturday, many have outrightly condemned the ruling party and some of the members of the government of the APC. You know why? They are calling them hypocrites. You know why? Mr. Bayo Ononuga, the essay to the president on media and publicity, they brought back the video he made in the run-up to 2023 elections, where he said Igbos should never attempt what they did, all of those, that they should. Some very terrible comments, disparaging comments he made about Igbos that I would not like to repeat.
Okay, I'm happy that you even took me, because I was saving the best for the last. But it's good that you have brought me here, because these are some of the things I wanted to tell you that, see, even in 2014, there was nothing the APC, the opposition then didn't say to Jonathan. There was nothing, there was no threat they didn't give. If you do this, we are good. So, and you just mentioned a couple of them now. So what is the difference? All those things they did were capable of, were more even national security breach than what because Sheikh Makinde was only just warning us that we should be careful. We should be careful with what we want to do. You cannot, the moment there is no virile opposition in democracy, there's no more democracy. Democracy came with so many quality rights. In rights to associate, freedom, they are quality rights. The moment you try to kill them, you have killed democracy. That is the implication of what Sheikh Makinde was saying. I'm not holding, but that is my interpretation of it. So they have committed more national security breaches in the past than what is, because it suits them because they are there now and they don't want that. They are so, I've never seen an intolerant government like the government of Tinubu. Now, I heard they are even going to clamp down on you guys, media, very soon. They're already issuing some things to clamp down. If you go to any studio and say something, they'll clamp them down. We are waiting to see how that is going to happen in a democracy.
Well, the Constitution guarantees what we do in the media space, except we say we're no longer operating the Constitution.
Well, thank you very much for that.
Now, one of the decisions taken at the Ibadan Summit was that the coalition will field a single ticket.
Yes.
A single ticket. That's brilliant. That was a master stroke. I must give it to whoever came up with that idea. But then you have heavyweights with big ambitions. Vice President Atiku Abubakar, Mr. Peter Obi, Mr. Rotimi Amechi, Kwankwaso, Alhaji Rabiu Kwankwaso, and a few others in that group who would be aspiring for the tickets. So, how does this work? What's the modus operandi? Who's going to midwife this? And how do you manage these oversized egos? Deiji.
Let me tell you something, every political party has guidelines, process,
yes,
with which they conduct their affairs. And thank God for the judgment of the Supreme Court that said, whatever you do internally is purely your affairs. I have no doubt that the party has leadership, and the leadership are competent, the leadership are forthright, the leadership of the ADC today are disciplined. And whatever is the procedure or the criteria that will be set out to either by consensus get the candidate, or even direct primaries get the candidate, they are going to stick with it. The current leadership does not care. They don't even see these aspirants. They are not even looking at them. And that was what we take, this last Congress, that was what I took a cue from, and did in Ogun State. And we had a perfect Congress, because David Mark is not running for president. Fashola is not running for president. So they have the duty to reset the order, to follow the guidelines laid down by the party's constitution strictly. There are regulations on how do we conduct the primaries. There are regulations from the Electoral Act and from the party's constitution. The moment they follow this one, there's no be. Anybody who cannot fall in line should fall out. It's as simple as that. Yes.
So in essence, are you acknowledging that a decision has been made on the modus operandi? Is it going to be consensus?
No, the party will come up with that.
The
party will come up with that in the next couple of days, because with this, we are asking that this the timetable should be reviewed by INEC and shift for another 30 or 45 days from the May 30 deadline. I think if they're able to do that, it gives us more room to be able to. Initially, the railroad INEC into doing all of this, I mean the APC, so that they can, like when you want to steal, when you want to hit hot pepper soup without letting your friend know, that's what they do. You just do before, that's what they were trying to do. And they are being clever. If you are a good dribbler, at some point you dribble yourself. They've dribbled themselves into all of this, into this corner. And I'll see how they want to come out of it.
Okay, you said you've asked INEC to give you an extension of time.
Yeah, it was part of the demand at the Ibadan Summit that it has to be reviewed. The date has to be reviewed, and the Electoral Law Act itself has to be reviewed, because how can an electoral law allow people to print their own ballot paper? Where do you find that all over the world?
Okay, before we even come to the issue of the electoral law and all of that, INEC said they are not taking, under Professor Mukutan said they are not taking any correspondence from you. As far as this INEC is concerned, they don't recognize it.
We are going to take them up on that. They were supposed to be, the law asked them, the law demanded of them to be at the ADC, congresses, and convention. But they violated it. It's criminal. It's criminal.
But INEC is relying on the court.
They're relying on what? What the law says is that the party should notify them of the dates, which we did, 21 days notice. That is what the law says. So I said, you must go there and see what they are doing. But they didn't come. That is criminal.
No, but what INEC is saying is that based on one of your members taking them to court, and then the court
it has nothing to do with it. INEC is just being mischievous. Amukwiton is just, it's painful. Amukwiton knows all of these things. I think he succumbed to the pressure of the people that appointed him. I don't envy him at all. But he should have done better. He should have stood on the side of Nigerians. He should have stood on the oath of office he took. He should have stood on the oath of law. On the side of law, yeah.
Now, some political parties at the event, Labour Party, Accord Party, in fact, a friend of mine in People's Redemption Party, PRP, and a few others are saying they are not a party to that communique and all of that. They are denouncing it. In fact, they are threatening to take legal actions against whoever signed on their behalf and all of that. What do you say to this?
I'm not aware of this. I'm just hearing this in any case. Party is not considering moving to PRP or any party now. We are going to see to the end of this. We are going on with this. See, we are waiting for Supreme Court, to tell the Nigerians whether they want to deepen our democracy or they want to help in destroying it. Because these are clear cases. It's just for them to make that pronouncement. There are so many authorities that are of Supreme Court themselves that our lawyers have cited. Apart from the popular and everybody, there are so many authorities from the Supreme Court. We want to see whether they will deviate from these authorities that they themselves made. Apart from, whatever is an internal affairs, there are so many authorities. So we are waiting. Who does not know? Even now, a layman knows what status quo antebellum meant. Even if they are reviving us, so that means David Mark should be back to his position. So we are waiting. We are waiting.
Apart from that, FCT Minister Nyesom Wike controls a more popular, more robust faction. He's in charge of the Wadata House headquarters of the PDP. They are in charge. So technically, they're actually the real PDP, and the faction that Seyi Makinde represents, probably can be called, a shadow, faction. But where I'm going is that if Wike and his faction of the PDP presents a presidential candidate and all of that, and then you also present one in the merger and all of that, but then, how does this play out? Make it make sense to
okay, let me tell you, this is part of the lawlessness we are witnessing under APC administration. The appeal judgment are recognized. First, let me say, he doesn't control the robust part of it. How many governors does he have? How many governors? Maybe always he's the governor.
But he's controlling the headquarters.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean anything. It's just a building. If the law says so, others will vacate the place. The place is just there. It doesn't signal authority. Let me
does not have any governor again.
Let me clear that. It doesn't confer any authority. Office is office. You know, when you have faction, somebody say we're in charge of the office. It doesn't confer. So what I'm trying to say is that the appeal court ruling or judgment is appealed at the Supreme Court. Again, Abi? So why can't they wait before they move into Secretariat? That is lawlessness. If the appeal court judgment had gone the way of Stanley Muturaki, till today, those barbed wire, those police will still be there. Wike will not allow them to access the place. But of course, because he's working with the APC government, he can do anything. The following day, they start painting, they move all the barbed wire, remove the security. That is the lawlessness we are talking about. So now, but I'm not expecting them, because I don't think anybody that they throw up as presidential candidate is just a fluke. It has no meaning. Wike had already said he was going to support President Tinubu. And it means that every other people that are around him, that will just be just a gimmick, just a facade to say, I don't even see them doing that. And if they do, the person will resign, might probably resign a few days to the election, that we are supporting President Tinubu. That's what you should expect.
We're not Nostradamus, so we can't know.
That's what you should expect.
Okay. Governor Seyi Makinde gave perhaps, the most significant or most powerful speech at the Ibadan Summit. And he's the only sitting governor, because his counterpart in Bauchi, Bala Mohammed, is neither here nor there. You don't know where he belongs. So the question is, Deiji, what is Seyi Makinde's, what does he stand to benefit? What's his game plan? He wants to be presidential candidate, because many are crying that the South needs to complete their 8 years, since Tinubu is about to complete 4 years, so this must still remain. That's some opinion. Is that what Seyi Makinde is working towards, or he's fighting for VP? What's the game plan? What do you think? Seyi Makinde is
I think he's the only one who can explain that to the people. Okay. I can't speak for him. I don't know his mindset. But I want to believe that he has seen the light. He was in the darkness before. He allowed Wike and others to lead him into darkness. Governor Seyi Makinde, I think he has seen the light now. So let us allow him to ventilate, to enjoy the light now. And let us see what he wants to do. He's the only one who can say what he wants to do. But what I remember I seen the light is that I think he must have realized that, no, this thing is going to work. It's not going to work the way we are doing it. We need to rescue this country. Perhaps he may have been hit by that reality that, no, the country cannot continue to go this way. Let us join this progressive element. Let's see what we can do to rescue this country.
Okay. What do you think? I mean, before I even go to the next point, many informed commentariat, took a very dim view of Seyi Makinde after the G5, all the drama with the G5, Yesom Wike and all of that scuttled the PDP's chances 2023. Are you saying with the principled stand he's taken recently to say no, not everybody must be in APC, and that he will not be a part of those who want to ensure there is only one party without opposition in Nigeria? Has he redeemed himself somewhat? Do you think so?
Well, it depends on how people are seeing him. Like I said, I think he may have seen the light now. He's allowed in politics. You can say, oh, I'm here today, but today, I don't think that I'm here. Or I said this thing yesterday. Because all that to me, all what he's doing now what it meant to me is that, okay, this southern thing, southern zoning, may eventually not work. Nigeria is in total terrible shape. So it has defeated it. So, and that's why for me, I've always told anybody who cares to listen that, don't bring zoning to me. I won't buy it. Okay, Mr. Wale, today, let us talk about this. Each time I tell you that those who are talking about zoning is just to service selfish interest. It's a gimmick, it's a political gimmick to service selfish interest. And I can define it for you. So this call for zoning is among few elites who wanted one position or the other. Tell me a day that you have seen a protest on the street of Abuja or anywhere in the country that the protest was to advance the call for zoning. Tell me if you have seen it before. If you see any protest, it's against hunger, poverty, insecurity, everything terrible, negative this country has provided. No single person. So when they say Nigerians are staying zoning, I say forget about don't tell us that, don't put that woos on our eyes. Nobody is not the priority of Nigerians. Nigerians wanted good governance. They want power. They want 24 power. They want good healthcare system. They want a better education that this government has not been able to provide. So nobody should come and be telling me the story of zoning here. It makes no sense to me. I would rather go for merit, capacity, and experience. And anybody that you see that wants to contest for presidency, they have it in abundance. Do you want to tell me that Peter Obi didn't do well in Anambra? Peter Obi didn't recklessly collect debt. Yet he built schools. He built roads. He brought private investment to Anambra State. He knows sin of this world, all these vehicles and all that. Do you want to tell me that El-Rufai did not do well when he was in FCT? In 1 year, he computerized the entire land administration. He returned Abuja to the original, what do you usually call it? Master plan. See what he did in Kaduna? He cut off terrible wastages. Remove all the bad teachers, bring in new teachers, enroll students. Do you want to tell me that Kwankwaso did not do well in Kano? The school feeding, he started it. School uniform for primary to secondary school free. He started it. He built universities. Do you want to tell me that Tambua didn't do well in Sokoto? See the revolution in healthcare system, in primary healthcare system. Today they don't have all those terrible diseases they have in that place again. He invested in schools, in education. Do you want to tell me that David Mark did not do well? Who saved us from impending, from crisis that would have consumed this country? Doctrine of necessity, experience. He did that. Do you want to tell me Atiku did not do well? A former vice president, chairman of Council of Privatization, National Economic Council. It was his time that we had the highest GDP growth in the history of this country. Nobody has been able to match it. GSM revolution, created an institution that brought about jobs. So what are we talking about? Do you want to tell me that Rafa Regulars did not do well? The whole years of this world that brought about 25,000 new jobs? Before you or do you want to tell me Amici did not work? Look at model primary and secondary school, revolutionize them, get new teachers, spend so much money on, invested massively on education and healthcare system and infrastructure in River State. So what do you want to tell me?
Okay, Deiji, you're so passionate about this gentleman. Some would differ. Even last week, the president, Bola Tinubu, was talking about if one of them, he said one of them, their leader, he was the chairman of a privatization council, and they privatized.
Forget about him. What did he do in Lagos?
He
only did 2 projects in Lagos. He got the road and the Millennium School that he built for 5 billion in Lagos throughout 8 years. Fashola came to rescue and cover his shame.
All the other states in Nigeria are going to Lagos to copy their blueprints on revenue.
Not under Tinubu, it was under Fashola. Fashola came and revolutionized everything. Fashola performed better, far better than Tinubu.
The story out there is that Tinubu is the builder of Lagos. Are you saying
he didn't build nothing? I just told you the 2 projects he did. Go and check it out. He built this Abaronjia Road, this place they call Governor's Road. How many kilometers? He built that. Then he went to build 1 millennium school, I think in Ogba or Ogudu, for 5 billion. What else?
One of his biggest accomplishments as governor of Lagos is that he increased the revenue from maybe 500
at the expense of the people, at the expense, and to the benefit of their pocket.
Why?
Was what Lagos got? Did Lagos get? Is it commercial to what they got? Please don't let us do this. Don't let us do this.